Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your ITFC match reaction show. I'm, of course, your host, the Gov. Town stunned by late drama, losing 2-1 away at Cardiff, slipping up in the promotion race, as it were. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings this evening, this afternoon? Whenever you're watching this, whether you're watching live or on catch-up, please do let us know how you saw the last 100 odd minutes of football. Adrian says you sit back when you have the lead. That's what happens. Town were robbed. We sat back and tried to defend, says Kerry, and that's not our game. Legacy Bates says SHIT defended all season, had to come back and bite us at some point. Keystone Cops at the back. Benjamin Dow, we never looked dangerous thought throughout the game. Defenses flustered far too easily in moments of importance. We go again. Don't forget, we are partnered with Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. 3 p.m. kickoffs obviously are 20 odd minutes away, so you have got time if you wish to play. When you do play, you do support the life-saving work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance. So how your play is on your screen right now. Over 18s, be gamble aware. Right, I'll jump straight in. I'll come to Matt Phillips. Matt, sucker punched. But I'm going to start with, I know I'm not normally one to do this, but we were very much truly robbed at the end there, because I do not know how that's not a foul on Leif Davis before their corner. He's literally been mugged. And Kieran McKenna agrees, I believe, because he's gone to the referee directly, which is not something you often see Kieran McKenna do.
No, it's not really his style, is it? But were we robbed? I don't know. Look, we've had benefits of referees' decisions, and if one's gone against us today, then so be it. But look, I've got the TV. I've had to change places because it's too sunny. So
I'm just discovering that as well. Yeah,
it's too sunny. But I've got the TV in front of me here. Look, we're still third, 78 points. We're 1 point behind Leeds of 9 games to go. So let's not get too down about things. But it's the manner of the defeat, isn't it? Because you're 1 up. Another great away following, gone all that way to Wales for a lunchtime kickoff, and you're literally minutes, seconds away from another 3 points, and we've been done 2-1. But like, you know, as Fergie said, football bloody hell after United versus Bayern Munich, and that's exactly what's happened here. 1 up, and they've scored 2 right at the death, and they've done us.
Yeah,
but look,
if you get the foul, Matt, you don't get the corner, you don't get the second goal.
Well, you're gonna have to deal with it because you ain't giving it. 3 match officials. You know, the 2 linos and the referee haven't given it, so we're just going to have to suck it up. But we've had the benefits of decisions ourselves this year,
have we?
And we've had the benefits of scoring goals in the 94th, 95th, 96th minute in 1 games. And today it's a bit us on the arse. But I mean, look, we'll just have to deal with it. But it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. We're still 1 point off second, 9 games to go.
Very true. Very true. Very true.
How did you had like a run of 6 games, back-to-back wins? Looked like it was going to be 7. But there you go. It is a hard one to take. I mean, bloody hell. I mean, it is a hard one to take after that. But you know, you thought the performance was pretty flat throughout.
I did. I thought we were very poor throughout.
When a team like that contains us, as you saw against Bristol City in the week, when a team contains us, it's very difficult for us to break down. But you know, you see it on social media and stuff where people are demanding like this total football performance for 90 minutes. Well, we beat Bristol City in half an hour in the week, and it looked like that Kiefer Moore strike out of nothing, quality strike by the way, 6 in 9, was going to be enough to take us over the line. But at the end of the day, look, we haven't cleared 2 balls into the box. Difficult to defend for whatever reason. People getting in the way of each other. I mean, like on the first one, you've got Morsey in there, you've got Wolford in there, Burgess in there, look like queuing for a bus. They couldn't clear it, and you know, you're just going to have to deal with it. But at the same token, you're 1 point off second with 9 to go. So don't get too down. Lots of twists and turns. Look, you've just seen a twist and turn in the last 10 minutes of injury time. We thought we had 3 points in the bag. We lost 2-1. So who knows what the next 9 games might bring.
Absolutely. But, you know, sitting back at 1-0 always brings its dangers. We know that. We've seen it throughout the years. You see it throughout football. And I said to you in the WhatsApp group, I would not have taken Kiefer Moore off because...
Why would you keep him on?
He was because he was first to every single loose ball that was coming out of the back line. He didn't look like a player that was blowing for me. He looked like a player that wanted desperately to win this game and booed for the duration. Great
Takes
goal.
something to get booed by Swansea and Cardiff fans in away games, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And I just felt anything in the air, he was winning, he was holding, and we don't have that. And Ali's a good player, going to be a great player for Town, but he's not Kiefer Moore at this stage of his career. And I just felt that was opening the door for the ball to continuously come back. And it did after that point. It really did.
Yeah, maybe. Good point. I mean, who knows that he took the blow on the head? That's the thing that's actually killed us in the end, isn't it? The time it took to deal with the cut and put the bandage around his head is where all the injury time came from. And that's where they've won it. But look, I don't think Keith had a great game today, but then, I don't think anyone did particularly. It just felt like we were going to steal the match, steal the 3 points, which would have been fantastic, because that's what you want to see in these promotion runs. 3 points on the board, but you didn't play well. But look, Kieran obviously had a reason for taking him off. I mean, who knows? Perhaps he had bloody headache after that blow to the head. Who knows? Perhaps he weren't feeling
He probably did. It's a nasty blow to the head. A throwback to the old-fashioned days with a player wearing a big old
butcher style.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a good finish from Kiefer, wasn't it? It really, I mean, the commentator team, sort of saying the goalie should do better, but it's touch, it's the turn, it's the pace of the ball. It's a Premier League standard finish from a striker, banging form at the moment.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, what a signing! Look, we've said it on here before. People didn't know what he was going to be like. We all thought he was going to be good. Look, you and Rich thought about him last summer. It's been brilliant. I mean, he's got 6 goals in 9 games. Cardiff City's leading scorer's got 6 from all the season.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just shows you the quality. It just didn't, for whatever reason, we just couldn't get the ball out of the box today on those 2 goals. And let's not be too critical on a team that, as everyone keeps telling me, is punching above its weight. I just think it's a very well drilled team. I always think punching above its weight is lucky. I just feel like it's a very well drilled team with a very good coach, with a great group of players. And I feel gutted for McKenna and the players, because, it looked like they were going to do it. But fair play to Cardiff. You keep playing for 90 minutes, 95 minutes, 100 minutes, wherever it's going to be. And they've stuck 2 balls into the box. We've not been able to clear them. And they've scored. And fair play to them. We're just going to have to suck it up.
Oh no, the performance was flat, as somebody says here, Stephen Dave, very flat performance, no sparkle at all. And I agree with that. I think today we were flat. We did look like a team that had gone on a run, and perhaps this was the time for it to end. My issue isn't with the team. I think they probably did enough, certainly for a point. My issue, as I started the show with, is that decision right at the death. That's, for me, has killed that game for us. That's a terrible decision. And you know me, Matt, I'm not one to normally sit on here and have a go at, a decision from a referee. But for me, that was the worst I've seen in a long time. It's a pure, straight up, almost mugging.
I should have to run it back and have a look. Yeah, you don't normally say that on air, do you? You normally save it for behind the curtain.
Yeah, because referees, got a hard job, and they do the best of their abilities. But I just don't see how an officiating team,
right in front of the
linesman,
the line knows that side, right?
Yeah,
the line knows that side. For whatever reason, they ain't giving it. Don't know. We'll have to go back and have a look. But you have to think that the linesman that side has got all the assistant referee, should I get called them? I got told off for that before. Had a really good view, but they didn't give it. So
that said, we should, we've then got to deal with it when the ball hits our box from that corner. Yeah, we don't deal with it again. It's 2 balls into the box today that we've not defended well. We've not dealt with. Numbers are there. It's one thing having numbers there, Matt.
Yeah,
but you've got to have. I don't want to say desire, but you've got to have something that gets you into where you need to be.
Yeah, exactly. But it's easy to say all these things in hindsight, isn't it? You're defending a 1-goal lead. They've stuck a ball into the box. You've got a split second to make a decision. And, look, we have pointed fingers at our defence this season a little bit. We do give away really stupid goals, but it did feel like today that we was going to probably get over the line with a 1-0. But for whatever reason, they were just trying too hard to get the ball out of the way. Like I said earlier, you got Morsey, Wolfenden, Burgess, all in like a 3, and none of them could clear it. And it's fallen to the blue shirt, and the kid scored. So
before I bring on Lee Anderson, we've got Lee and Mike waiting. I'll bring in Lee first. Before I bring in Lee, the commentator said, could this something along the lines of, I can't remember word for word, but about the pressure of the situation as you reach 10 games to go. Was this a performance for you where maybe the pressure of the situation we find ourselves in was creeping into that? Because second half, it wasn't a Town style performance, or do you put those words that were said on air by the commentators team into this context and say it doesn't apply to today?
No, I just think that's Sky talking shit and trying to big something up so you start watching all the games. Oh God, are they getting nervous? Make sure you tune in next week. Blah blah blah. No, not at all. Cardiff just did what Bristol City did to us. They just contained us. Unfortunately, they managed to go one further than what Cardiff did and actually took 3 points off us. But it's very difficult. Look, it's very easy for all of us to sit here having a cup of tea and a sandwich, watching the game, thinking, oh well, bloody hell, Keith Moore's not doing very well, and that's a flat performance, and the midfield haven't done it. It's very difficult in that 90 minutes in the context of the game when, Cardiff have had 2 clean sheets on the bounce to break down our style of play, to break down the blue wall. And that's why you bring people like Keith Moore in, Premier League quality, international quality, because they should give you the glimpses that you need, within a second to put you in the front. And that's exactly what he did. Unfortunately, we didn't have the quality at the end to be able to clear the ball, but I'm not going to get too down about it because we're 1 point off second with 9 to go. We've lost 5 games all season. If you get in the ump and it's ruined your weekend, and as Mike Brown would say, give your head a wobble, because we're very much in this. This defeat today doesn't change that at all.
Agree, we're still in it. Disagree, give your head a wobble. I think any time my team don't win, it's like a punch in the gut. I'm down about it. It doesn't matter if you've won 500 games.
Oh, yeah, it's a sickening, right? But look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture.
Absolutely. Oh, no, I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
Whatever.
No, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. No, I agree with that. But you can feel disappointment. Is what I'm saying. I think.
Feel disappointed, but we keep saying go back to the summer. Who'd have thought 9 games to go, you'd be 1 point off second? Annoyingly, we had second in our hands today, but hey, look, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Who knows what the next week will bring? A week is a long time in football. Who knows?
It certainly
what it will
is. Yeah, no, it certainly is.
After we routed Millwall, who saw them going to Southampton and taking 3 points there. So look, don't get too down about it because no one can predict the future.
Absolutely. All right, fair point. All right, bring Lee Anderson. Lee, you've heard Matt's comments. You've seen the chat. What are your thoughts this evening? Cardiff 2, Ipswich Town 1.
Afternoon all. Up until the injury time, it was a professional away day game, in my view. I mean, we rode our luck definitely early on there. I mean, so from Adlaki that went out and the guy should have scored, shouldn't he, when he shinned that one from about 3 yards. So, but the pattern of the game is similar to a lot of games at the moment where there's no space first half. Teams block us and and we have to see out the first half and then we come stronger in the second half. So that game panned out probably as McKenna thought. Yes, we could have maybe done more in terms of trying to score in the first half, but that was just how the games go, and they open up for a second half. And I thought second half, although we didn't create too many chances, we completely controlled the second half. And that's fact, we probably controlled the game after the first half an hour, and we were comfortable. And I didn't feel anxious at all. And then, as Matt says, one moment of quality, and we're in front, and we're all thinking, oh, it's a great away day performance. And then Cardiff scored 2 late goals. Well, and they're both sort of set play goals, aren't they? They're both sort of scrabbles in the box, and that's how they've scored most of their goals all season. So, McKenna talks about fine margins, and this time we've come out on the wrong side, and it's fine margins, and if you do the right thing, you will come out on the right side of them most of the time. Well, that's our 5th defeat this season, so most of the time we are coming out of the right side. So these games will just happen. So just as Matt says, which is surprising, Matt, because I mean, two or 3 years ago, you were about to go jump off a cliff or something, weren't you? I mean, it just shows
it's different. League One is different context, my friend. League One is a different context.
Absolutely, it's different now, and that's the point. It's the point I was going to make. It's a different feel. Everything's completely different now. Everybody knows that, but you're still going to get these defeats. I mean, it was almost Charlton-esque, wasn't it, away last season where we were 4-2 up in injury time and all that sort of thing. So you just soldier on, but it is very Ipswichy when we do concede like that. It's not the first time it's happened, but we could have easily drawn the game midweek, and we could have easily drawn the game today and only have 2 points instead of 3. I think that's probably the best way to look at it, I would say, on that.
Craig Winchester, we didn't have an out ball once we sat back after scoring. You could see it coming. That was the signal. Lee says, no excuses. We were poor. We controlled second half, then just let them into the last 10 minutes. Unforgivable. Prem says, it was just 3 points away by going to a defensive mode after scoring. What are your thoughts on that? Because I do agree. After we scored, Lee, we went almost incredibly defensive and couldn't get a hold of the ball once the goal went in.
So what happens there is what you'd expect. Teams that are much better than other teams, say like Man City playing Brentford, if they score a late goal, you don't get the ball off them. But I think it's not about being negative towards Ipswich. It's about being positive towards Cardiff and what they did. They just flung everybody forward. They got the ball into their fullbacks and was knocking the ball in. So they were bypassing the midfield. And that pushes you back because you have something to defend. You can't leave your centre forward and your 3 other forwards marking one-on-one because you need to pick up the second balls. So, that's the problem. They threw everybody in the box and the ball fell for them those 2 times. But I don't agree with you, Martin, about Kiefer Moore. I think it's right to sub him off because the idea is then you're going to try and play on the counter because Ali Halmadi is a big lad, but he can run in behind, and you need
to get hold of the ball, Lee. You need to get hold of the ball before you can think about playing on the counter.
You do, but we had the ball in the corner flag at the start of injury time or just before they scored, I think. But you've got to bring those fresh legs on because you've got to be able to turn the defence. And all you're going to do with Moore is if all your players are sitting back, and then it goes into Moore. Moore has got nobody to give it to. So the idea is to play the ball out, is to play the ball into the channels more. So I can see that. I can see the reason for the substitution, and it's one that that McKenna would see making, given that where you're trying to defend a lead, that's all part of his plan, and that's why his strikers and the players he buys are all different. Because you want different roles, and that's what I think with Moore. And to be fair, I don't think Moore had a particularly great game, but he had that real moment of quality. So that's what I think about that.
What do you both say to Rob here? Because obviously, Lee, you said these games happen. Matt's almost a very similar mindset. Rob says it was naive. Every point counts at this stage, and we should have at least seen out the draw. And I'm with Rob to a certain degree because he's right. These games can happen in September and October, but this is the business end of the season, gentlemen, where that point could be the decider between your dreams being fulfilled or not. So, was it naive, as Rob says? And every point does count at this stage. What do you say back to him, Lee? I'll start with you.
Well, naive is not. Just go back to my point I just made. Cardiff throws everybody up the pitch and they knock the ball in, and we can't defend it. We've conceded goals like that. Is it naive? I'm not sure. Would it be more naive to leave everybody ahead of the ball and leave all the space for them to be able to knock the ball in and leave all the runners and not track them back? Mm-hmm. That's the counter argument in my view. It's not really defending it. I mean, you talk about the foul. I mean, maybe it was a foul, maybe it wasn't, but it's not given, as Matt says, and you have to defend that corner. And most of the time, goes back again to the point about the fine margins. Most of the time, we have defended those situations this season because we've only conceded, we've only lost 4 games, and some of those games we were outside.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit behind you. Sorry, no, sorry.
I agree with what Lee's saying. I think naive would have been trying to make it 2-0. I mean, you're in a funny position then, aren't you? Because you're 1 up with 10 minutes to go. So what do you try to do? Hold on to the lead. You try and make it 2, as Lee says. Then you'll bring in, you're trying to attack a game that you're winning. So it's very difficult. What was very difficult was the fact they just put them ball. Look, what did we do in the week against Bristol City? We threw the kitchen sink at it, is how I described it, and that's exactly what Cardiff have done to us. Put the balls into the box. We couldn't defend them. They've gone in. There's nothing naive about that. We just couldn't clear it. I ain't got anything else to say about it.
Lee, man of the match before I let you go and bring in the fisherman.
Man of the match.
Or a player that stood out for you in a Town shirt, if you don't want to say the words man of the match, or however you're feeling this afternoon, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think Clark did all right. I mean, Burgess was, I think if we'd have won 1-0, everybody would have said Burgess, because again, he was kicking it and
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah,
and headering it, and then
I'd have said Clark for that last ditch block at 1-0. That should have been a
great
3-point
block.
winner in its own. That was a hell of a block.
You could pick anybody across the defence, and it's interesting. I mean, I'm not going to call Leif Davis out with any of this, but he's gone down for the. He's been fouled, but the balls came from his position again, hasn't it? 25 million. So they say.
All right.
Maybe. I mean, maybe he's got to be a bit stronger there.
Okay, perfect. Lee, thank you for jumping on with us this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of the week. All the best. We'll jump straight to Fisherman. Fisherman, what's your thoughts this evening? This afternoon?
I was going to say it's afternoon. That feels like this evening. Yeah. That just wasn't a great game to watch from start to finish. Yeah, we scored, but I just didn't feel... Look, we've been saying it for so long. We can't keep conceding 2 goals a game. We just can't. We can't do it. We've conceded 49 goals, which is far too many, sitting third in the championship. Far too many goals. We talk about substitutions. Now, I felt the substitutions while it was 0-0 was right. I kind of felt that we'd lost our way in the midfield. I thought Luongo had a poor game. Didn't really get in. Gave the ball away. Moore didn't play well. I didn't think first half. People saying he was hot. He weren't. It was the ball kept bouncing off him, and it just wasn't a great first half to watch. It was a struggle to keep my eyes open, to be brutally honest. And it was a typical how Ipswich, it was another like Bristol City, Cardiff, sit back, 10 men behind the ball type thing and stifle the space. We get the goal, right?
Yeah.
Now, what we should have done, which we didn't do, is we should have carried on playing the way that we always play. I have not seen Ipswich this season sit back and defend a 1-0 lead. We've always gone on and opened the pitch up and still tried to get a second goal. Right? That's how we play. Now, for me, I felt that we'd have been better off bringing Clark off and putting Transibi on that right-hand side, because Cardiff were putting balls in the box, and Transibi is a far better, defensive player than Clark. That doesn't mean to say Clark had a bad game, because I didn't think he did. I just felt that we perhaps, we brought Clark on for Transibi against Bristol City, and now why not do the same thing? We needed to hold on to that 1-0. When they equalised, it was like, right, okay, let's hold on. But I just still felt that Cardiff were going to get a second goal. The way we were setting up, our midfield was gone. We had so many forward players. We brought, Hamady on, for Moore, and Moore looked out on his feet. Now, whether we agree that we should have brought it, we should have subbed him or not, I think the reality is Moore was out on his feet. So look, we brought him on, but the problem is we're 1-0 up, and we've got how many defensive players on that pitch? We've got what I would argue 4, because Clark isn't so much a defender. Although he plays right back, I think he's better. He's like that. Like when you play a 3-5-2, he's like that wing back role. I think he plays better in a wing back role than as a right back. I think Transibi was, when fully fit and on his game, I think he's a far better player than Clark. And I think that would have been a really good decision, because that would have given us a little bit more height in the box. But that defending and our goalkeeping, there was no strength from our goalkeeper again. And Wolfie was all over the place. And it really frustrates me, because he'll have a really good couple of games, and then he'll have a really poor game. And it's, to get out of this league, to get to the Premier League, you've got to be consistent. Now, I know we've only lost 5 games all season, and that's brilliant. I mean, none of us would have sat here at the beginning of the season and thought that's where we'd be. We're sitting third in the table. I resigned myself to the playoffs a long while ago. Am I annoyed? Yeah, I'm fuming, but because I'm an Ipswich Town fan. But am I surprised? Not really, because I just feel that we just kind of, a lot of our play of late has been a little bit huff and puff. It was only against Bristol City where we really were up in our tempo. That was the reason why we won that game. And now today we didn't up our tempo. We didn't get that goal and then go for the jugular. We sat back with arguably 4 defensive players: Morsey, Burns, Wolfie, and Davis, because the rest of them were all attacking players. And if you're going to defend a 1-0 lead, you need defensive-minded players to do that. Taylor, number 8. Morsey, number 6, defensive. So Hutchinson. There's no way you're going to get a defense out of Hutchinson. He was actually stood behind the defender, the attacker, when that ball was headed back into the area for Cardiff to score. It was so poor. It was, So for me, look, we got what we deserved today. I thought, fans can sit in, we can rant, we can strip it apart, we can make it what it is. But the reality is, we allowed them to come on to us, and they got a well-deserved victory at the end because they were the team with the impetus. We lost the impetus, we lost the tempo, we lost our shape, we lost the ability to clear the ball, we lost the ability to pass the ball, and we looked disjointed completely. So look, at the end of the day, is we're sitting third. We just got to take the positive, and I guess that's about the only positive I can take out of that game today.
Yeah, Matt, anything there? I see you getting the microphone ready to speak. Did you want to come back, Mike, about anything there?
No, I would say Mike's probably correct. At the end of the day, we did get what we deserved because we conceded 2 goals in the last 3 minutes, or whatever it is. You can argue, should we have gone into 100th minute or whatever, when it was 8 minutes added on. But Moore was down for a long time, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, that was the killer for us, Mike, wasn't it? I mean, that was at least 5-6 minutes down, weren't it? But it's a sick to lose like that is a sickener. But look, Mike talks about consistency, and we've won 6 on the trot, and we've been beaten today. So we've been pretty consistent, as you say, Mike. We've lost 5 all season. So let's not just one bad result today sort of put a shadow across what's been a really good season for us and what could still be a really good season for us. Who knows what next week will bring or the week after. I mean, we've lucked out again because we get Sheffield Wednesday next week at Pullman Road. They still need a win to get out of the relegation zone. So they ain't going to be sitting back and looking for a point. So, I mean, maybe that's a perfect bounce back game, as we saw in League One last season against your Forest Greens and all those little shitty ones we still have to play.
Mike, anything else before I let you go?
A lot of Town fans are probably gutted because, every pundit, every Leeds fan, every Southampton fan, every Norwich fan, every bloody Leicester fan is sitting there going, they're going to bottle it. We weren't expected to be up there in the first bloody place. So every Leeds fan, Leicester fan, all you fans out there and pundits out there who don't like it because we're sitting third in the Championship, up yours.
Perfect, by the way. Mike, appreciate you coming on.
Mike.
Going to jump to somebody, I don't know why he's on the show for, he probably didn't even see the game. But Rich, welcome in.
It's his bloody fault. We were 1 up until he got home, and then we lose 2-1.
I see a bit of it. I see more scoring. I was scrambling to get in the door and get the telly on, thinking, brilliant. Not played well. A few people messaging me saying we haven't played well, but you think, brilliant. You've gone down to Cardiff, dig out a 1-0 win, which won't live long in the memory, and then just didn't defend the box, did we? No. Look, and I agree. I just see Kieran on here, and he's right. It's ricochets, boys. They could have fallen for us. They didn't. They fell for a Cardiff player. Look, it's disappointing. I think we don't. Look, we don't know what's going to happen in the remaining 9 games, but let's hope that this defeat doesn't derail our season, because it could do. You see them players, Matt and Martin, and the fans when they zoomed in on them. Everyone was devastated. It was like a dagger to your heart. Right at the end of the game, and people will say, "Why has he played 2 minutes over?" It's only 8 minutes minimum. It's only a minimum. There was another substitution. They've scored a goal, so you have to just defend your box. Look, they'd stop the crosses coming for the first goal. You could have done that. Amari, could he do a little bit better at the far post? Possibly, but I don't think we can sit on here and be too critical that we brought on attacking players, because we brought on attacking players to try and win the game,
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
and it's worked for us so many times. And we've been delighted coming away from games when we've scored a late winner. We just got to suck it up today. It's a hard one to take. It's a real hard one to take. But you've got to get over that very, very quickly. You've got to get over that very quickly, and you've got to bounce back. It's a big test, Martin, for me, for Kieran McKenna now and his coaching staff next week. So they've got to lift everybody, because that'll be a very quiet ride home, tonight. And they'll reflect on that tomorrow and probably think, look, you concede the equaliser, at least don't lose the game then, take a point, and at least you've taken something from the game. But to concede in, what was it, the 100th minute? Look, it is a sickener, but that's football. And I'm sure there'll be plenty more times when we're scoring late goals and jumping around the place and going mental. So it is a tough one to take. We all know that. That's football. That's why we all love it, and then we hate it in times like this. But look, still third. Yorkshire, they'll be celebrating in South Yorkshire and Southampton and Leicester, but we've just got to see where we go for the next 9 games. But I've told you all season, you can't keep conceding 2 goals. Defensively, do a promoted team. It's like Don Goodman said yesterday, and I see Town fans saying, he doesn't like Town. He's basically saying, we've conceded 47 goals before today, 49. It's going to be... Not many teams get promoted, Matt, with a defence like ours. I know we score plenty of goals and it's exciting and it's seat of your pants, and we all lap it up. But we're probably going to concede nearly 60 goals come the end of the season. And that's a lot of goals for a team that are fighting at the top of the league. But look, just all stick together. All stick together and just see what happens and beat Sheffield Wednesday next week, and we'll all be a little bit happier, won't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've questioned the decision for the corner at the start of the show, middle of the show, and I'll do it again with yourself here, because obviously you're a referee. You're refereeing today. For me, my left back's been absolutely mugged. Kieran McKenna's gone towards the officials after the game. I don't know if he said anything. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not in that conversation. I just on the screen, I see him go towards the officials. For me, it's a foul all day long. It should be a corner. It should be a free kick to Ipswich Town Football Club.
But you still have to defend properly. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. The decision's given. Defend properly from the corner. That's all you have to do. See the game out, and you take a point home.
It's not relevant, is it? Because it's not irrelevant when it's a direct influence on the game, is it not?
Oh
yeah, it possibly could be a free kick to us, but it's not. You got to get over it very quickly. Get back in shape.
I've just got it on the TV in front of me now. Like, the lino has got a perfect view of it. I don't know. It looks soft to me, Martin. I don't know. I'll be interested to see what Kieran thinks, but in real time, I thought. It was just
after the game, he could have walked over to the referee and said, "Good game, ref. Thanks ever so much." I don't know. I've just seen him go towards the official. I'm watching on Sky. I've got no idea. He might have just said, "Do you want your fancy for your team some dominoes and the coach if you fancy it?"
These moments have been few and far between this season. I mean, bloody hell. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, Sheffield Wednesday next week, I'm sure they'll bounce back. Look, I didn't know if we'd bounce back after Maidstone, which was international humiliation against a non-league side. And that we've been on runs since, so let's see if we can do the same again.
It's probably been. Yeah, I see Colin.
Colin
and Craig again. But look, it's a bitter pill to swallow, and it's probably McKenna's not had many league defeats as a manager, had he? And it's probably it's a learning. Look, we were joint top with Leicester. We all know that, but we're down to third now. But we're all still learning. McKenna's learning. The players are learning. That is the harsh reality of the Championship. That is why it's so mad. And even we can't sit here with 9 games to go, and we couldn't sit here hand on heart and say, we'll beat this team. Leeds will lose to this team. You don't know what happens. Because Cardiff now, 4 points away from the playoffs. Did they look like a playoff team from what I see? No. But we said this before, Martin. It don't really matter this stage of the season how you're playing. It's picking up the 3 points. We'd have come away from here today 1-0 winners. Why is it not acceptable, Charlie? We've lost 5 games. This is the mentality of some of our fans. You lose a game and everybody loses their shit. Look, we're disappointed. I get that, but yeah, Wolfenden's poor. Wolfenden's poor. He hasn't played for a while. Why has Wolfie played poor? He's been one of our. This. It just pisses me off. Dominic, he's the one who said put Jack Taylor out on loan. I mean. Absolutely mental. Some fans look. Everyone will see a game differently, and everyone will react differently. You know,
as Dominic and Charlie have, yeah.
And we are disappointed. I get that we're disappointed, but if we'd have won 1-0, no one would have said about,
No, exactly.
100% Mike Baker, bigger picture, perspective needed. And we all know defensively is probably where we're going to have to improve next season, whatever division we're in. May it be in the Premier League or in the Championship, you know, we've said it on air. We've said it on air. We've defended poorly, and it's bitten us on the backside today. You know, it just has.
I don't think Wolfie was any different to what he was in the week, to be honest, Rich. The fact that the reason it all sort of turns on its head and everyone gets yum is because we beat Bristol City and we've lost today. But I didn't think his performance was any much different to what you saw against Bristol City. The context changes. We get 3 points there and we get nothing today. And the manner of the defeat today as well, with the 2 goals in the last seconds.
No, it's the manner of the defeat. If you'd lost that game normally in normal time and it was 2-1, but it's just like,
you'd say flat performance.
These are the moments. Look, even though it's a defeat today, these are the moments you want to be in. Look, 3rd in the table, with 9 games to go. You know, as we said before, we're a promoted team from League One. That was for most times in League One, we were underachieving in League One, which is why I used to get pissed off.
You just got to learn from this. You got to take this experience, like suck it up, and then next time when it happens, it's like the other night. I thought they really see out the 8 minutes against Bristol City really well. We had loads of attacking players on the pitch then. You know, they didn't get in our box. Did we sit back a little bit and invite a bit of pressure? Yeah, we did. Maybe. Could we have stopped the cross for the first goal? Maybe. But then it's fine margins. It's fine margins. That ricochets. It could ricochet to a defence. Look, Wolfen and the Burgess, I think they've got in the way. If they'd had the time again, someone really needs to take responsibility there and just put their foot through it, you know, and they've both probably got in each other's way, but it's football. It's football. We can't do anything about it, you know. We're just here watching it and commenting on it and getting annoyed and happy when we win. But it's the Championship. We've scored a lot of late goals and we loved it. And other teams have been a bit disappointed. So today, you got to take it on the chin, move on quickly. 3 points again next Saturday. Then they go into the international break, and you've got 2 weeks to have a rest. And don't know if it might go away. Some of the players get a bit of time off. I know Broadhead and Burns and Moore will probably be involved for Wales. So you just got to keep your fingers crossed that they don't get an injury. And then we've got 8 massive games to go. You know, we're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. But this could be. When you look at in the shake-up right at the end of the season, this could be a big blow, but we've just got to get on another run now. Get on another run, another run, and just see where it takes us. And if that's a playoff game, and you're winning 1-0 in injury time, just use this in the back of your mind and don't let it happen again.
Yeah, but I think that's I think what you just said there is very accurate, but also why after a game emotions run high and people react.
Oh, massively.
Cope in different ways, and to have the 3 points in the palm of your hand when the prize is so big. Let's be honest, the prize is so big, regardless of how you feel about modern football, and it's
no prize is given out in 9 games to go, though, mate.
No, but you're sitting with 3 points, not played well, joint top of the table. You've kept your mark on leads. I can see why people react in manners that they do, in the ways that they do.
Well,
everyone's different. Everyone's different. 3 weeks ago, you two were having a great go at me about saying we could still finish second because you were coping in your way about the disappointments of the results that were happening at that point in time. And I said, well, we could still do it. We could still do that.
But we're 1 point off second, so I don't get.
You've had 3 in the palm of your hand, and you had the chance to really apply pressure, and I can see why. I can see why. But you got to keep.
We did say, and Rich said it as well. We did say that we would not win every single game. This is where people start getting entitled. We've said it before. Start getting entitled and think this is some kind of total football super club.
I agree with Martin. You've had 3 points there for the taking, and we were minutes away from top of the league, possibly joint top tonight.
Look how many times we've turned losing positions into winning ones. Yeah. We look the table for that. I mean, look, you can't have everything. You can't have all the cake and eat it. But if you really want to get promotion, if you really want to get promoted. You've got to see them little moments out. This would feel harsher, Rich, if it was like 3 games left. Do you know what I mean? 9 games to go, 1 point off second. I would take that all day. But the manner of the defeat today is like it's a kick in the bollocks. But look, we're gonna have to deal with it, right?
And then some. All right, we're back tomorrow 1:30 to discuss it in more detail. I'm going to go and watch that Leif Davis foul about 400 more times and see if it is indeed soft. I don't think it will be, Matt. I don't think I've only seen it once, but I don't think it's going to change when I see it again and again and
Right?
again. But
I'm
we
not
are.
on the show tomorrow because I'm out for Mother's Day. So I
No,
have
no,
to
you're
tune in and
not.
see
I
your
know
thoughts.
you're not. Yeah, yeah. Phil won't be on the show this afternoon. He can't speak about the referee, he says.
Oh my God, yeah.
Bless
It's
him.
not the referee's fault. It is not the
Always the
referee's
ref's fault.
fault that we lost that
Always.
game. It's not. It's their own fault.
See, for
We
once,
didn't
I'm
clear the
saying
ball.
it is.
We didn't clear the ball. It is our own fault. But there you go.
We did, well, that is true. We didn't clear the ball. That is our own fault. Yeah. Right, we're done. So thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. And obviously, as I say, join us tomorrow, 1:30. With me and that man down there. Stone Market Osteopaths, 01449613633 for all your osteopath and physiotherapy needs. But they're shut from 5 p.m. today, so don't follow them until Monday. But have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.
You make me